Let's say a lady in black and white gave you a box, and now you're competing in the desired Grand Prix, but all the good buckles were taken away by players who are definitely much better than you. So what now? Well, you will have to resort to the smaller buckles, of course, but how do you know which raised buckle is the best? Luckily for you, I'll be explaining and ranking all of the smaller buckles from least effective to most effective. Here are some important background information before we get into the details. The smaller raised buckles in Kamen Rider Geats offered the rider minimal armor coverage, allowing them to retain their abilities. However, these buckles come paired with a corresponding raised weapon, enhancing their combat prowess, typically slotted into the right-hand compartment of the desired driver. These buckles focus on bolstering the rider's upper body. Interestingly, they could also be affixed to the opposite side while keeping the raised weapon at the ready. Notably common, these compact raised buckles can even appear in multiples during a single round. Now let's assess their significance in battle scenarios. How useful they are in a battle depends on their utility, versatility, and overall effectiveness. My criteria for ranking these raised buckles are based on these factors, aiming to highlight the ones that bring the most value to the rider's combat capabilities by examining their impact on battle, adaptability to different situations, and the enhancements they provide to the rider overall. Also, I'll be judging these raised buckles by their own abilities, so things like the Gigant raised buckles and the weapon raised buckles are off the list, as they need the power builder buckle to actually do anything, as they can't be used normally like the other smaller raised buckles. Starting off at the bottom of the ranking has to be the Propeller Buckle. When using this buckle, you'll be given the Raised Propeller, which is a handheld raised weapon that takes advantage of high-speed propeller rotation for flight. A distinctive advantage of the raised propeller is its ability to create targeted gusts of wind, adding a directional component to its utility. Moreover, the long blade could be used for physical attacks if you're ever confronted directly. With all those perks, it's still not better than all the other buckles on this list, as it has a major weakness. For example, it may be useful to fly away from enemies, but it also makes you vulnerable to attacks from potential ground-based assaults. In the case of Kamen Rider Letter, who will attempt to fly away from the Yamato, but was shot down, showing a clear weakness of this buckle, which is its lack of defensive abilities. Overall, by itself, the Propeller Buckle has a major weakness, and you shouldn't use it if you want to survive. However, its major weakness can be nullified if you use it in conjunction with other buckles, like the Shield Buckle, but I'm judging these buckles by their own prowess, so it's still at the bottom of the ranking, D tier. A buckle better than Propeller but worse than the others is the Shield Buckle. When using this buckle, you'll be given the raised shield, encased in durable special armor. It possesses the ability to endure high temperatures while providing a substantial physical defense that minimizes damage during combat. Furthermore, its sturdiness allows it to double as a throwing weapon or use the pointed side to make it an effective stabbing weapon. Although it is mostly used for defense, it could be used as an effective weapon to deal lots of bashing damage without dealing damage to yourself. My final thoughts on this buckle are that it's a great weapon if you want to protect yourself, while also acting as a pretty good weapon to use due to its sturdiness. Therefore, the Shield Buckle is a reliable weapon with great defense and great offensive capabilities, earning itself a nice spot in the C tier. Next is the Hammer Buckle, which obviously grants you the raised hammer. Despite its compact and seemingly lightweight appearance, this tool harnesses impressive destruction potential by magnifying the impact of strikes. This unique features enables the generation of shockwaves through ground impacts, making it an effective means to scare and fend off potential opponents. It's definitely a commendable weapon choice. Though a pretty good offensive weapon, it isn't a great defensive weapon, with you only able to block some attacks. It also doesn't help the fact that there are other raised weapons that are far better than the raised hammer. C tier. Next in line is the Water Buckle. When using this buckle, you'll be given the Raised Water, which is a water cannon that could also be used as a neat little bat for when you need to beat some disrespectful. Its primary function involves rotating the valve and pulling the trigger, which propels a long stream of pressurized water. If no outside water source is available, the stream's power is akin to a standard hose. When connected to an external water source through a pipe, it can emit an unending flow of water. Additionally, the water pressure can be adjusted by lengthening or shortening the barrel to control the force of the water expelled. Although this is one of my personal favorite buckles, it does not save itself from its weakness, which is that this buckle is very reliant on an open water source, so it's an environment heavy weapon. If you're near a water source, it'll be a very effective weapon that can definitely flood the competition away, like in the case of Geats, who used the buckle to its full potential with and without the boost buckle to help boost, pun intended, its effects. If you're not near an open water source, then you're kind of fucked, though it could be used as a pretty good melee weapon. Overall, you need to get quite creative if you want to use this buckle to its full potential, but if you're dumb like a bull, then you would just use it as a nifty bat without even using its specialty, B tier. Next is the arrow buckle. When used, it will give you the raised arrow. This versatile weapon takes the form of a bowgun, designed to excel in long-range engagements. By pulling the trigger, an energy-infused arrow is launched with precision and effectiveness, reaching targets within its designated range. Additionally, the short bow portion allows for close combat when the situation demands it. This buckle is definitely a great substitute if you don't have the Magnum buckle, as it still has the advantages of Magnum such as accuracy and precision. The primary advantage of the raised arrow is its capability for long-range attacks. This allows the user to engage opponents from a safe distance, reducing the risk of immediate retaliation. Skilled users can also target specific weak points on an opponent or hit targets that may be harder to reach with other weapons. However, you shouldn't let enemies come too close to you, as this buckle works best from a safe distance. Underestimating the arrow buckle will be a mistake, as demonstrated by riders like Shiori. Despite competing with riders equipped with more advanced buckles like Magnum and Zombie, Shiori proved capable of keeping up with Geats and Buffa in combat. With those advantages, the arrow buckle earns a B tier. Moving on, we have the Claw Buckle, offering a unique buy one get one free package. The dual raised claw weapon, as the saying goes, 2 is often better than 1. The benefits of this buckle are primarily centered around its imposing large claws affixed to both the left and right forearms. These formidable appendages extend your reach and possess super hard blades that excel at rendering through anything in their path. Furthermore, rubbing both claws against each other enhances their sharpness even further, adding an extra edge to their destructive capabilities. This buckle has many pros. For example, the extended reach allows you to engage opponents from a safer distance, making it harder for them to close in and attack you. Another example is that you can use both claws in the gauntlet parts as an effective way to block attacks. Also, the gauntlets provide protection to the rider's hands and wrists, shielding them from injury during combat. Overall, the Claw Buckle is an amazing offensive weapon with great defense if you use the 2 claws in conjunction with each other, and therefore it earns itself a spot in the A tier. Coming in next is the Drill Buckle, which gives you the raised drill. True to its name, it has a rotating drill mechanism that could be used to push through enemies, or in case of some of the riders in the show, use it as a fucking bashing weapon. When some of the riders use the weapon, they are swinging the weapon and not using it like, I don't know, a fucking drill? Therefore, not using it to its full potential. Like, it could be used to penetrate armor and tough surfaces, or spin the drill to create a disruptive force upon impact, causing opponents to lose their balance, concentration, or coordination. The drill arm can also be used for both offensive and defensive purposes. It can be employed to deliver powerful thrusting attacks, as well as to block or deflect incoming strikes. There are many benefits of the raised drill, and the only way it could be bad is if you use it as a fucking bashing weapon. Thus, the Drill Buckle earns its spot in A tier. Now the top spot is the Chain Array Buckle, which gives you the raised chain array. This powerful tool features a hard, spiked iron ball, swung with devastating force to pulverize targets. Additionally, the grip section can be employed for close-range strikes. The numerous benefits of this weapon encompasses a wide array of attacking angles, rendering it effective in diverse combat scenarios. Its extended chain grants superior reach compared to traditional melee weapons, enabling strikes from a distance. The spiked ball's dual-natured combines crushing blunt force with piercing capabilities, inflicting both penetrating injuries and bone-crushing impact. This buckle's power was fully demonstrated by Kamen Rider Turban, who showcased his might by single-handedly causing casualties and demolishing structures using only the chain array buckle. Nevertheless, there exist certain disadvantages tied to this buckle. The weapon's unpredictable movement heightens the risk of accidental self-injury during combat, particularly in confined spaces. Yet with strategic finesse, this buckle emerges as a potent tool for battlefield dominance. Its massive destructive power combined with calculated application makes it a formidable choice for those who aspire to command the combat arena. S tier. In the end, even if you started with an ordinary box and lesser buckles, your strategic prowess and adaptability will ultimately define your standing in the desired Grand Prix. As you face opponents wielding more advanced options, remember that victory rests not solely on the buckle's potential, but on how you wield it. Your innovation and resourcefulness can turn any advantage into a winning strategy. That victory rests not solely on the buckle's potential, but on how you wield it. Your innovation and resource.